The modern music industry is largely built on a high-speed treadmill. Artists strike gold on social media, land a massive hit through an algorithmic fluke, and then find themselves trapped, forced to repeat the same catchy gimmick over and over to maintain their spot. In 2023, the P-pop group SB19 caught that exact wave. Their single Gento dominated timelines with an inescapable dance challenge, riding that momentum all the way to number 8 on the Billboard World Digital Song Sales chart. But that kind of explosive spike creates an immediate problem. When the app refreshes, the challenge fades, and the algorithm moves on. Do you disappear, or do you find a way to stay? Figuring out how to survive past that initial digital sugar rush is a critical indicator of whether an artist has the staying power to build a long-term career outside of a single platform. 3 years later, in April 2026, SB19 released Wakas. As the title track of their new album, it serves as the deeply emotional finale to a 5-year musical trilogy. You won't find a 15-second dance routine for this track. There is no trend-chasing loop engineered for quick scrolling. It relies entirely on its vocal arrangement and lyrical weight. Yet, despite stripping away the mechanics of internet virality, look at this chart mapping out their commercial trajectory. The expected sharp drop-off after a viral peak is bypassed here. Instead, Wakas debuted at number 9 on the Billboard World Digital Song Sales chart. Securing a top 10 Billboard placement without the help of a viral push suggests a transition is underway. They are beginning to move off the algorithmic treadmill, relying less on chance and more on a foundation of direct consumer support. To understand how they engineered that transition, we have to pull back from the single and look at the broader ecosystem of the entire Wakas at Simula project. This area chart visualizes data from Chartmetric and Kworb. The album has pooled a massive 395 million cumulative streams, but total numbers matter less than speed. Zooming in, we see a steady baseline pulling nearly 1 million streams every single day. The engine behind these numbers is the Aten, a fanbase whose coordination mirrors that of a professional marketing team. Their organized effort ensures that every release reaches a critical mass of listeners almost immediately. While fan organization drives initial spikes, a steady ticker of 1 million streams suggests the music stays in circulation long after the initial push. It indicates a transition where organized effort has successfully built a permanent listening habit. That kind of retention requires deliberate planning. For Pablo and the rest of the 1Z Entertainment team, the strategy centered heavily on expanding the group's sonic profile. The album acts as a stress test for their versatility. They deliver aggressive, hard-hitting hip-hop mechanics on tracks like Damn, and then immediately pivot to the raw vocal exposure required for a ballad like Wakas. This radar chart maps the performance of 3 tracks across 3 genres. Notice how the data plots are consistently high across the board. The hip-hop, the ballad, and a social commentary anthem called Visa, which peaked at number 6 on Billboard, all registered top-tier engagement. Hitting these milestones across entirely different categories proves that the audience is showing up for the group's overarching musicality, not waiting around for a specific type of beat. Mastering this kind of multi-genre ecosystem creates a buffer against audience fatigue. It gives the group long-term viability, insulating them against whatever sudden shifts hit the broader music industry. The true scale of this strategy becomes clear when we track its geographic footprint outside of the primary hubs in the United States and the Philippines. On Apple Music, the album has penetrated deeply into the Middle Eastern market, charting inside the top 20 in both Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. Add in their significant streaming footprint across high-density Asian markets like Hong Kong, and the international data points begin to form a comprehensive global map. Dominating the charts simultaneously across distinct cultural regions confirms a universal appeal. The data proves they have graduated from regional stars to established international mainstays. All of this digital traction, the daily streams, the genre diversity, the geographic reach, is what builds the necessary leverage to secure the industry's most significant live performance opportunities. The real-world yield of that chart power is undeniable. By July 2026, SB19 secured a top billing slot at Lollapalooza in Chicago. Just a month later, they were booked for Summer Sonic in Tokyo, locking in back-to-back performances at 2 of the most exclusive music festivals on the planet. Securing stages of this magnitude is the physical realization of the blueprint 1Z Entertainment laid out. They structured their independence to build an enduring catalog. By prioritizing a cohesive musical architecture over the pursuit of the next internet gimmick, SB19 has shown a viable path through the viral noise. They've proven that long-term artistic control can generate a level of international demand that social media trends alone cannot sustain.